You're welcome back, and this time, hey, we have something very interesting for you, especially everybody who's into a lot of etiquette. If you love etiquette, well, this is your thing, because we've been joined by Yvonne Ebby. She joined us to talk about manners and how manners matter. She's an Oxford University alumnus and also author and a social intelligence expert with a speciality in personal branding, executive presence, and business etiquette. You are welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. I was just going through your little book.
Right.
I'm going to talk about everything in here, but let's talk etiquette matters now. When we talk about how they matter, what are we referring to? Are we referring to just our immediate surrounding and people that we are with, or a larger group of people?
Everything from the home. A simple definition of etiquette is, behavior that distinguishes human beings from animals. Simple, basic, and true. So everything about the way you drive, the way you behave at home, the way you eat, the way you think, the way you relate to other people in the office, on the road, and in the shop, in the mall. Everything matters. I was talking to a French lady, and she said, she was in Nigeria for a bit, and she said, Yvonne, I had a horrible Christmas. I said, what happened? She said, I went to the mall, and there was a lady at the till, and so her upper boss said to her, attend to her. I said, she's the one paying your bill. She said, no, she's not the one paying my bill. God pays my bill.
Well, by a long shot, etiquette, depending on where you find yourself in the region, it actually changes. It's different here, it's different there.
Oh, yes.
So when people move into new places, they find that they have to adjust.
Right.
Now, do we have a certain rule as Nigerians when it governing our etiquette? Or should we, I should ask?
I mean, culture plays a lot. Culture plays a huge role in defining etiquette, and proper behavior in a particular place. But it has to be acceptable. But there are basic things like respect and courtesy and civility. Those things don't. There are basic manners, basic social acceptable behavior that you have to protect in society. The way you look at people, looking at someone in the eyes is, in Africa, people thought it was rude initially.
Yeah.
So you kind of like look down. But we learned that it's part of confidence.
Exactly.
And self-awareness. So you look people in the eye, but don't be rude. So we're polite here. We like to think that we're polite. We like to think that we're polite. And it shows in our greeting. We have, we greet a lot, sometimes we courtesy. Some cultures actually have them go on the ride all the way down and greet. We have those basic tenets of etiquette. So yes, it does affect. Culture plays a huge role in that, but they're basic rules of consideration for other people and respect for the individual.
Now, it is noted that in Nigeria, it is absolutely absent in our curriculum when it comes to school and education. These are not taught in schools. How we actually gain these little bits of etiquette, just perhaps maybe by culture, like you said. Should it be important that these are taught as a part of the curriculum?
But I don't agree with you. It is taught.
Oh, that was a question now.
Yeah, it's taught from home first and foremost.
Home.
You have rules at home. At home, growing up, you couldn't take stuff from the fridge without asking. You knock on the door before going in. These are basic rules. You greet people. Good morning. You don't start saying in the morning say, "Mommy, I want. Daddy, I want stuff." They would deal with you, and parents would deal with you. You start by greeting. You go back to school, you write a letter of appreciation. You send Christmas notes to your grandparents. All it's part of our upbringing as well. But in the school system, whether or it's in part of the curriculum formally, you have to also, there are some things you have to do right. You greet people. Even in some schools, they have seniors, you have juniors. You even call them by name, senior Emma, senior this, whatever, So it may not be a rule, a written rule, but it's there in the unwritten fabrics of the school curriculum, I'll put it that way. You have to do some things correctly. Someone is going down the staircase, you just give an older person, you just stay aside, kind of thing. So it may not be a course called manners, but it's a huge part of our culture and our upbringing and what people expect from you. If I'm speaking with you and a third party comes in, naturally he will say, excuse me. If you don't, they would give it to you, whether with the eye, rolling the eye or something, somehow you get the message. Or a Nigerian parent, for example, telling a child, I remember this little thing that happened. A child abroad was telling the mother was telling her, Junior, and he was not getting the point, was playing with the device, and then she gave him this look, like, the look like, if you dare. And the child says, Mom, cool, do it again, do it again.
He had no idea what she
was doing. But a Nigerian parent understands that eye connection, once that eye is steady on you, you get the message. And you just stop doing what you're doing and figure out what's the next right thing to do. So we have it ingrained in our culture, our tradition, in our non-verbal communication, in our unofficial constitution.
Yeah.
So these rules apply, these social behaviors apply, and they help us treat other people better.
Okay.
And make,
In our society, however, what are certain things that are cultural that may not be good ethics when it comes to how we relate with people? Because there are certain things, like you spoke about looking at one in the eye, how it's rude in some cultures and, and confidence in others. So what are some other things that we could take note of that should change, that are that we're begotten from our cultural background?
In offices, for example, you see grown-up people still doing the courtesy thing and calling, their boss's mom and dad. Hey, this is an official place. Can you just like keep it, keep it official, keep it cordial? So all of those things, you see a full-grown person who may even be rude or disrespectful to other people, but when she sees the boss, she goes all the way down and she shows that this artificial respect. Show respect for the individual, whether your boss or the janitor, whether the maid or your dad. I had a program once for young people in summer some years ago. And after tea break, I said to them, what is the name of the lady who served you? These were like high-profile children. They didn't know.
Wow.
I said, in life, you have to learn that. Next day, they asked her name after tea break and got a name. Next day, I said to them, what's the name of the security man? They had no idea. No. Because in their thinking, they were coming for a program, it was about learning how to do. But you have to learn how to treat people from the beginning, from the scratch. Everybody is important. So that whole thing about respect and showing consideration for other people, it's crucial.
Wow. Yvonne, we have very little time, but I want to say thank you very much for coming in and having this discussion with us. We hope that you do come in again so we can actually see that we can talk more about it. Lovely having you.
Thank you.
And I hope that you learned something out there. Please continue. It's still Wake Up Nigeria. We'll be right back after this break.